Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is Dominions 4. First, let me say that I can now record videos longer than 15 minutes. Now, I don't expect to subject you to hour-long sessions, but I do appreciate the extra flexibility that this gives me. The next thing I wanted to mention is that Ursula is getting a bit restless. If you read her information, she was once a warrior, and she was imprisoned for her violent and promiscuous behavior. This is a woman who leads a very exciting life, but for the last millennia or so, she's been banished by the Pantocrator, and now that she is free, she's walking around looking for magic sites. Now, she understands the value this brings to our war effort, but she still desires a little bit of action. I, of course, have tried to dissuade her. I have said, Ursula, there are spells only you can cast, items only you can forge, not to mention the morale harm that would be done to our troops if you were to fall on the field of battle. But still, she was undeterred. And then I thought about it for a little bit. This is, after all, her story. I'm nothing but a mortal vessel for her divine will. So if she wants to get involved in a fight or two, I see no reason why not. But I thought, how could I make sure she survives these fights? Well, there's a lot of interesting things that we could discuss. For example, we know already that she has awe, which makes her very hard to hit. If someone is attempting to strike her, they must first make a morale check just to not be overawed by her magnificence. She also flies, which gives her a lot of tactical flexibility. But still, as I'm sure many of the younger male members of my audience can see, she doesn't wear a stitch of clothing. Her protection is pretty bad. Her defense is nothing to write home about either. If she's going to survive in a big fight, she's going to need to improve both of those, and quick. How can that be done? Well, let's look about what she's good at. She has a lot of air magic, a lot of earth magic, and a lot of nature magic. What can she do with that? Well, let's see. If you go and look at air spells in particular, and you look in the alteration school, by the way, you could check a particular kind of magic by typing in the first letter of its name. A for air magic, B for blood magic, D for death magic, etc. The only one that isn't intuitive is astral magic, which is S. Now, if you look at the air magic, she could cast Air Shield, which prevents her from being hit by missiles. She could cast Mirror Image, which makes mirror images all around her that prevent her from being hit. But, even better than that, she can cast what our other mages are already casting, Mist Form, turning her body completely into mist and making it very hard for anyone to actually strike her should they be able to pass her awe in the first place. And that's just our air spells. What if, for example, she wants to use her earth spells? Well, first of all, she can use Summon Earth Power, which gives her reinvigoration and also gives her earth magic bonus of 1. Down in the alteration tree, she could use Stone Skin or Iron Skin, which causes her protection to go up. I believe Stone Skin is 15, Iron Skin is 20, but please correct me if I'm wrong. She could also cast Temper Flesh, a new spell to Dominions 4, which makes you much more resistant to physical damage and fire. Then, of course, she has nature magic. She could go into the conjuration path, and look at this, Strength of Gaia, 1 level away. It would give Ursula regenerative abilities, increased strength, a rougher skin, and increased nature magic power. That's a spell that does almost everything. If she needs a little bit more than that, in the enchantment school, there's a spell called Personal Regeneration, which gives her even greater regeneration. Finally, and this is not completely out of the realm of possibility, if she is interested in perhaps empowering herself by using gems, as you can see here, well, we need a lab, but if I'll show it on one of my other. If you want to empower somebody by using gems, you can empower to water level 1 with 50 water gems, of which we're almost there. Now, why would we want to do that? Ursula has quite a bit of magic already. What use is some more? Well, that's a good question, and let's look at it. One of the best spells that we're casting right now is Quickness. It makes the troops around the caster move a little faster, but there's a personal version of that, Quicken Self. This would allow Ursula, once she gets involved in combat, to attack twice per round. So as you can see, with just the magic paths that she has, and perhaps maybe one little additional bit, she can cast a ton of spells that will make her a formidable force on the battlefield, because the two most important things when you're talking about a thug or a super champion, super combatant, is that you want them to not be hit, and if they do by any chance get hit, you want the damage to not be extreme. There are other minimal concerns that we're also addressing, such as making sure they don't get tired out, because as your fatigue rises, I believe your chance of getting hit and the chance of your enemy scoring a critical hit rise as well. And also, if you are hit, afflictions can mount, which is why regeneration helps, because it not only regenerates your hit points, but it also makes it harder for you to get afflictions. And these are just spells. Should we decide to research down the construction tree, there are many items that Ursula can use that will also make her very impressive. Just by getting to construction 4, we could forge armor for her, a chainmail of displacement using her air magic, which gives her armor of 19 and a +3 to her defense. She would also need a weapon and a shield. We could forge her a frostbrand with Surreal's water magic, for example, which would give her an area of effect cold attack and 2 additional defense. And a shield? Well, this isn't the best shield in the world in terms of protection, but she could forge a vine shield, which, even more important, would cause her to gain no fatigue, and anyone who tries to attack her, if they manage to get through her awe, if they manage to hit her mist form, if they manage to do anything at all, still have a chance of getting entangled. Finally, what about a helmet? Well, with her nature magic, she could build something called the Garland of Luck, which gives her the luck ability, which makes it even harder for her to be hit. Now, the one problem she has, of course, is her clawed feet. She cannot, unfortunately, wear boots, which in this game, some of the best magical items are boots, but that's something we can live with. She can, of course, equip 2 miscellaneous items, and there's a lot of interesting ones there too. There's a new one, by the way, to Dominions 4 that I'm particularly excited about, called the Dancing Shield. It provides a 50% chance to block any hits, and it gives you a protection of 20. There's also, of course, the Bracers of Protection with Earth, which give you +2 defense and protection. There's the Cat Charm, Nature, which gives you +4 defense. The Girdle of Might, Earth, which gives you reinvigoration and increased strength. The Ring of Regeneration, Nature, which gives you regeneration +10. And the Amulet of Resilience, Nature, which gives you reinvigoration +5. So without belaboring the point any more than I already have, we could certainly do a lot to make Ursula a terror on the battlefield. Just imagine a flying, awe-inspiring, metal-skinned, mist-formed woman who is sped up, regenerates, reinvigorates, and can do area of effect cold attacks twice every round. You're talking about a destructive whirlwind of infinite potential. So perhaps I was a bit too quick in dismissing Ursula's potential in combat. Perhaps I'm being a little too gentle with her and she needs to get out and shake her legs a bit. Now, we're not quite there yet. We have a bit of research to do before we can equip her and spell her up adequately to protect her, but I think it would be fun when the time arises to give it a try. And I intend to. So now, the lecture part of the video is over, as they tend to be this long into it. I've already moved everyone around. The only change I've made since the last time we spoke is that I've instructed one of my mages to produce wolves. I'm just trying to give you a show. I'm trying to show you all the different summonable creatures. I'm not sure what happened to the crocodiles. I thought we were making those. But let's make sure he's researching. Maybe we can do the crocodiles next turn. Okay, so now we're in evocation level 3, I believe, and we need to get to level 4, so we're making progress. We have our wolves, and there is a battle in Obokte. Sitis, the infidel lizards, are attacking us. Let's see what happens. Oh, they're attacking Surreal's army. Good luck to them. You could see all the spells that we're casting. Oh, I still need to fix those bodyguards. You know, I think I know how this is going to end. Well, we did end up losing 5 of our bodyguards. They ran to the front, as they shouldn't have. That was my fault. Not theirs, certainly, but we defeated the army attacking us. And then an unexpected event has occurred in Wick. Ugh, it's a -1. Province income is down by 10. Alright. So, oh no, It appears Sitis has gotten wise and built a fort on the throne. That's no good. That was my intention for where to attack next. But I still can do so. They seem to have expended many of their troops, and I think now is a good time for some action. First, I want to raise the defense up here, just to keep it safe. It's not perfect, and it's a waste of money in some cases, but I think right now I can afford it. I'm going to move Surreal down, and I'm going to move our reinforcements up. So in the next turn they'll meet up together, and they'll be able to attack the throne, which is my main goal here. At the same time, I can have Batman move up, and we could perhaps do some damage that way as well. Let's have Ursula search. We're still looking for magical sites after all. What else to do? Of course we want to recruit more troops. And this time, finally, we can afford some mages. And it looks like our Sarushes are ready. Let's see. Well, I wanted to get Shahar involved in the battle anyway, so let's give them to him. Now, one thing to note about the Sarushes is they are magical creatures, which means that they can only be commanded by a mage. So I couldn't give them to my commanders, for example. Here are the wolves. They look pretty unimposing, and their stats don't exactly show greatness, but yeah, whatever. I just want to show you what they look like. Eventually, they're all going to get involved. As you remember, my chieftains and my shaman have Beastmaster, which allows them to give animal troops increased morale, so they'd be a perfect opportunity to lead my animals in battle. Let's also give him some regular troops to bring to the front. And there he goes. Out of resources. We still have this castle as well. And we can recruit mages here too. Now our research should get a good bump from that. Okay. And this seems to be the end of Sitis right here. So they haven't gone further than this. That's good to know. This is still a neutral province. I'll have my spy parked there for a bit. So if we want to look at this tactically, we have a level 3 throne here, a level 2 throne here, a level probably 1 throne here, and a level 1 or 2 throne here. So that means we could win this game simply by taking this, 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 and that. And that seems to be a good strategy to pursue. It would avoid us having to necessarily tangle very long with Saramesha and Tir Nanog, both of which are pretty formidable. I'm going to keep my spies where they are for right now. Yes, I'm going to move him down here, actually. But other than that, let's go ahead once again and end the turn. Another 2 magic sites have been found in Good Old Woods, the Grove of Evergreens and the Singing Stones. There was another battle in Obokte. They simply will not leave us alone. But now, Surreal and his army are no longer there. Let's see what happens. Ooh. This could go either way. Well, I actually think we should have this, but you never know. Kill those lizards' men, those heretic. Well, I guess we seem to be doing alright. Really, that was quite a sound. Oh yes. This was ours. And of course, because we had no actual troops in there, we didn't lose anything, but they certainly did. Oh, it looks like Batman's being attacked in Good Old Woods. This is problematic because Ursula is in this province, but she is scripted to retreat, so let's see what happens. If this is coming from the Throne province, it would make it even easier for us to take it. And Ursula's gone, but her lionesses remain. Look at the force that Batman commands. That's not him. There he is. 2 levels of experience. Oh, and there's the slime. Now these are good troops. These are their heavy infantry. But still, we outnumber them greatly. And we're surrounding them. We lost only 6 men. Of course, one of our hornblowers who seemed to die quite rapidly, but then our archers and some soldiers. Okay, so now things are really looking good for us. We have Ursula here, where I wanted her to be anyways, for her to search for magic sites. Where our research is growing. And our armies are finally together. Look at this giant host. So first of all, let's give these guys where they're needed. Now, Surreal Beliefs has lost his bodyguard. That is certainly not something we want to see happen, so I'm going to actually steal the bodyguard from Urban, sorry buddy, and ask them to guard Surreal Beliefs. Other than that, our units seem to be in the position I want them to be. We don't have anything fancy, so there's no point in doing anything fancy. I'm going to leave the archers where they are for now. And we will do what we intended from the beginning. Take this throne. Meanwhile, Batman and Ningirsu are going to move north. And let's see what we got. Grove of Evergreens, +1 nature, wonderful. Singing Stones, earth, and air. So, once you have discovered a number of magical sites, you could look and see what your magic resources are. For example, we're getting 2 air gems a turn, 2 water, 2 earth, 3 astral, 9 nature, and of course the 3 blood slaves we're probably never going to use. You also have this unique command that will pull all of the gems out of a commander who is stationed in the provinces where you have a lab. Let's cast those crocodiles, shall we? Just so we could see what they look like. And of course, once again, recruit more troops. Let's get a battle mage this time, as our magic is getting there. And another couple hornblowers. Okay. Now, in future episodes, I may skip this whole tedious process of planning out the turn and simply show you the actions and what happened. Please let me know in the comments if you think this is a good idea, if you'd like that, or you appreciate seeing how I go about the minutiae of just setting everything up. Everyone's a little different, so I'd love to hear what you have to think. And now I'm going to leave my spies where they currently are, and I'm going to end the turn. Okay, we have our crocodiles. We found a magic site in Wick, an enchanted windmill. You see, the sites are finally coming around. Okay, here are our 2 battles. Pazux, well, that's quite the name, is Batman. Let's see how he does. Don't forget, not only do we have to contend with the armies they may have there, but also the province defense. This looks like something we have well in hand, especially with the protection we're now casting on our troops. Which, by the way, let's see if it's actually happening. 7? No? Ah, there we go. See, 14 protection. So on some of these troops, they've got that boosted, and that spell has proved useful. The slime, not so much, but hopefully we'll get better spells down the line. And we've won. But now, the big battle, the one we've been waiting for, the battle outside the castle of Smaa for the throne of Ascension. This is quite possibly the biggest force we have yet put together that wasn't in defense. Oh my. You see the lightning bolt in action, but again, the damage is not particularly extensive. You know, there's a faster speed than even this. I need to look up on how to get to it. It's this one up here. I mean, I could click it, but I was looking for a button. Oh, they're already running. With any luck, this will be ours. Come on, guys. Hold strong. Hold the line. Fight for Ursula. Warm blood good. Cold blood bad. Think of all the purses you could make for your wives and girlfriends when you get back from the battle. I hear lizard skin is quite exciting. These heavy infantry are really putting up a fight. Their morale is good. This could go either way still. Oh, and we did it. Bless Ursula. Praise her name. We have won the field of battle. But, as you can see here, we have started to destroy the gate, but we need more time. Yes, this is why I chose Fortune. This is what I was waiting for, to get us some heroes, and we have one now. Enheduanna, the Entu of the Moon, has appeared at the gates of our castle and wants to fight for our cause. Let's take a look at her. Where is she? There she is. This is perfect. She expands us into a realm of magic that we currently have no power in, astral, while still keeping the earth and water. Now, she does have one problem, as I mentioned earlier. She's of old age, which means that her stats are down, and every year, I believe, in the winter, maybe when the winter turns into spring, she has a chance of getting diseased. She's an elegist, like our Galas, and she's incredibly inspirational, though can only lead 40 troops. And like most everyone else, she is 3 holy. Let's see here. Enheduanna is the High Priestess of the Moon. She was born as the sister of the NC-to-be and was given scholarly training at the House of Water. She turned out to be a willful young lady, and she soon left the temple to travel near and far. When she returned, she had learned the arts of mathematics and astrology, and her brother, through a clever political move, built a new temple and created a priestly office to suit her skills. She now ranks as high as the Entu Queen, but her body is the property of the moon himself, and her sacred marriage is ritually postponed every lunar eclipse in waiting for the moon to descend. That's a pretty good gig, right? I mean, you're the wife of the moon, and so until the moon decides to just come down from the sky, you get to do whatever you want. Not bad. Her influence is greater than that of any previous Entu. She is hailed as the first poet, and she has composed many of the temple hymns sung at the great temple compound in Eridu. She has brought mathematics and astrology to the kingdom, and is respected as a great scientist. Her enemies claim that she learned her skills from Kokabel, Grigori of the constellations. The Grigori, I believe, are the super beings that you can recruit, like angels almost, from the faction Ashdod, also known as Gath, and I believe another one in a different era. Enheduanna herself claims that the moon has invested her with his power. Well, this 3 astral, as long as she can stay alive without getting diseased, will help us quite a bit. Alright, well, that's as good as things are likely to get for a while, so I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to leave comments, especially about how you'd like things to proceed moving forward, if you'd like me to show the whole process, or if you'd like me just to focus on the action. I appreciate it. Thank you so much again for watching. Have a great time, everyone. See you around.